Hello and welcome to Asteroid Sotratus Journey to Elaxia. Will our explorers introduce themselves? Dang it.
Are we starting over?
No, we're keeping it.
All right.
Okay. Hi, I'm D&D and Optimized. I'm playing Russo Tricolin.
I am Dornish Princess. I'm playing as Myra Kaylani.
Hi, my name is Egg, and I'm playing second.
Yo, I'm D_Twig. I'm playing Evergrey.
And without further ado, let's begin. Natural stone archways emerge from green grass below. Underground rivers emerge as well, except they seem to defy gravity. They follow the underside of these stone archways, floating beneath them. And it's not perfect. Trickles of water escape and run down the sides of these cylindrical, airborne pathways of water until they reach the bottom, and then drip down in these paper-thin waterfalls. We see white-barked trees with cyan and yellow glass leaves that occasionally dot the landscape and surround still ponds of cetrolumen. In these ponds, we see lily pads with what appears to be almost like a natural balloon that will form and float up from the lily pad. And these balloons are either dark blue, green, or pink. Jumping across these lily pads, we see little frogs that have anglerfish antennas, except instead of a light at the end of the antenna, there's a little golden bell. You're all on your Feyre, heading down the paths through the Falls of Foresight. Out of curiosity, what you guys talking about while you're traveling through? Also, if you want to, you can describe the Feyre. You have an opportunity to name your Feyre and kind of describe what it looks like if you want to.
My Feyre's named Tiddlewigs. It's got long, ram curled horns like Princess Leia, on the sides. And he's a jolly fellow.
My Feyre is an extra little stocky guy. His name is Tyronius. And he was the beefiest one I could find, and so I wanted him, even though he was the same cost as the others.
Okay.
Definitely helps since I'm packing some of Russo's things as well.
Evergrey's Feyre is probably a fairly tall Feyre. I imagine it's a white one, probably blue horns. And I don't think that he would have named it.
Okay. By the way, just a reminder, they do have antlers, not horns. Both of you guys described them as horns.
Sorry. Curled
Okay.
antlers.
They're the same thing, aren't they?
Russo thinks so, that's for sure.
My world building will not be admonished.
And I'm chatting with Myra, trying to figure out why these frogs would have bells on their heads.
Second to probably just named there something like Beast. It likes that.
So you said they were hopping. What are they hopping on again?
There are these lily pads in the cetrolumen pond that have what appears to be a natural string and a orb floating above it that's almost like a natural balloon. So just imagine a lily pad if a balloon was tied to it.
Okay, so Myra is actually quite good at identifying plants. That's one of her proficiencies with her herbalism. So she definitely is chatting about the lily pads in particular. And while the little frogs are kind of cute, she's more interested in the plants. So she's telling Russo about any properties we maybe know about the plants. Don't know if she's right, though.
Give me a nature herbalism check, which basically the way this works is if you have proficiency in nature or the herbalism tools, then you can apply proficiency. If you're proficient in both, then you get proficiency and advantage.
Yeah, she got a 9. She might not remember her facts correctly.
Yeah, so you're looking at this and you're thinking like, how is there helium in there? You're not sure. And the thing is, you could try to figure it out, but the concern is not having a proper apparatus to catch the gases if you wanted to figure out what the gases were. And you could potentially disrupt the tiny ecosystem that is that pond just by popping one of them. So you're not sure. They look strange. You haven't been out of the bile region before.
Yeah, I thought I knew Russo, but I'm just so annoyed right now. I just cannot remember. It's on the tip of my tongue, and I don't know. It's just, I'm annoyed now. Let's just talk about something else.
I'm
No
curious
worries.
if the bells serve a hunting function. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, that's
Problem.
interesting. Maybe they could attract prey.
Maybe. They could also potentially be a ward against predators. The noise might be distracting to something that lives in the area.
Kind of want one.
I will try and search my records.
Give me nature herbalism.
Sure thing.
Myra, you sound pretty upset about not knowing these plants. Isn't that your dad's thing? He taught you some, huh?
6 on that. So Evergrey probably doesn't know much about the frogs either. We're doing well at rolling 3rd week in a row.
You pull up a record of balloons.
I believe that the balloons have been attached by people. They are standard lily pads, but people have come along and have attached balloons to them because they look pretty.
Really? Wow. Strange.
I feel like I have to give inspiration for committing to that. Evergrey inspiration.
Does that offset my stress, or do I now have 1 stress, 1 inspiration?
You have a stress and an inspiration.
Okay.
And Myra is not feeling overly talkative right now to Russo, and she doesn't want to completely shut him down, but she just doesn't like being called out on the fact that she is doing something outside of the normal. So she's just gonna kind of brush it off and say, you know, we're supposed to stick to what we know, but you know, it's been kind of hard since I'm the only child left. So, you know, I know what I'm supposed to do, but you know, sometimes you gotta support your family as best you can.
Yeah, I hear you for sure. Gotta, you know, take a look at what both your parents are talking about. Keep them happy.
But you know about my culture, right? Like, you know, my mom and I are treated like the same person.
I mean, you seem pretty different to me.
She's not gonna say anything, but she smiles because she doesn't necessarily want to be exactly like her mom.
Well,
You see-
I'll take note of that.
You see, the Waxadel are similar in nature to the chickpea. You see, the chickpea begins as an egg, and then hatches into a chickpea, and then returns to the egg, and hatches again into a new chickpea. It is cyclical in nature.
Myra, are you...
There is no beginning, and there is no end. It goes on forever.
Are you gonna be
At
turned back
least-
into a baby?
No. It's just if I have any children, daughters in particular, they'll share 100% of my DNA. But, you know, Evergrey, you're forgetting about if the line ends. That's where it stops.
Yes. The chickpea can die. Well, some people eat them, for example.
What did you just say?
Some people eat their chickpea. Apparently it tastes like frog.
Okay, how about we just, you know, like tone down the talking for a minute? Like, we got a long ways to go, you guys.
You see Elenir actually has her favorite ride up and kind of puts herself in between Myra and the rest of the people, and you don't have to talk about anything if you don't want to. We can just be quiet.
You don't need to smother my fire. I just told them the same thing.
Sorry. And she kind of backs up into the rest of the crew a little bit.
Russo just nodded you.
Some time passes, there's a bit of silence for a while, and, it's a very beautiful area. There's tons of these paper fin waterfalls that come from the archways that seem to have a gravity to them that is able to... It's almost like the rivers have been picked up out of the ground, and they're traveling beneath these archways, and the water's trickling down into waterfalls, and at a few points you have to walk directly through the waterfalls, and it's nice. It feels like being hit by a gentle mist and not being hit by water. Eventually, you begin to enter a fog. Seems like the mist parts around you, but you can't see yourself or the mount that you're riding. You're not engulfed by the mist, yet you can't see yourself at all, and even it seems like a little bit of the ground beneath you seems to disappear. In the distance, you can...
Hold. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. You can see your friends in the distance, but the second they get too close to you, they seem to start to disappear too. You begin to go further into the fog because you know this is the direction you have to go. Eventually, you start to go down.
Before we get too far, I just think if we're having a hard time finding each other, maybe we should...
Yeah, can we do a party
tie
check?
some rope on each other or something, everyone hold on to this rope or tie it around yourself,
Well...
Where's the little guy? I haven't heard a yeah in a while.
Yeah!
Okay, he's here. We're good.
I'm here.
I'm here. This is definitely an odd situation.
Don't worry, I'm right over here. I think I'm a bit close, so I can't see you, but you're probably there.
Yeah, I'm here. Gary.
The fog seems to obscure things close to us rather than far away. It may be advisable that we do not get too close to each other.
Sounds good.
Being separated also carries some risks.
I guess it's a good thing we went with individual mounts.
I don't have a problem splitting up from the group. I'll be fine. You guys just make sure you don't get lost.
Still carries some risk.
Fog is a way of bouncing around sound. You might think that somebody's nearby and you end up just chasing an echo.
Have you been here before, Gary?
No. But I've been in fog before. People tend to get lost in it.
We don't have water where I'm from, so this is definitely my first fog.
So quick out of character thing. Water is not a thing in Citratus, and you have never heard of it. There is no such thing as water at all.
What is the fog made of, out of character thing?
You don't know? You can give me a nature check if you want.
Yeah, I don't know. I got a 6.
A 6 is enough. It was a DC 5. So you would know that the fog is likely cetralumen.
But there's no cetraline where I'm from, right?
Where you're from, there wouldn't be any cetralumen, no.
So then I can change my statement to, yeah, I don't know. I've never been in any cetraline before.
Cetralumen, not cetraline. But...
Cetralumen.
Okay, sorry.
I'll fix it.
Just had to
Don't worry.
clarify
Move
that.
on.
Also, Twig, you trapping me into centipedes. But the players in my other campaign will kill me for that. Anyway. They were already important in my last campaign.
Little critters.
Somehow, the thing that has been described here is the ultimate thing to mess with me.
Just cut that part out, I guess.
Yes.
No, we're keeping it. We're keeping it.
No conversation.
I can move the... If you guys wanted to, I could snip this part and put it in the page in the donator only video.
There will be a lot of chicken conversation in my, like, messing around type video.
Fair.
Just have to mention the centipede every chance we get from now on, then.
Oh yeah, no. the chickapede, the weird phoenix chicken / centipede thing.
Yeah, just go ahead and make
What does it taste
go
like,
ahead and make your
frog?
pet immortal. Great, yeah. I love it. I love that it's designed to mess with me. I'm not angry.
Yeah, it tastes like frog.
Yeah, so it should be nearby, huh? Share some biology with the things we've already seen in this area, huh? Eventually, you begin to go downhill, and you feel your mounts lose footing as they step onto this deep-set, cracked, frozen lake. You're not sure how far it goes, but as you step onto it, you can feel your mounts slipping, and there are some parts where the deepness of the cracks in the lake almost reaffirm you of the structural integrity of it, and somewhere it feels a little dicey. Do you guys continue forward? Do you guys try to, what are you doing?
Probably stop and try and come up with some sort of plan to get folks out if we get stuck somewhere.
I don't know I've ever seen ice.
If you fall into ice, it is often hard to get out, to find the hole that you fell into.
How stable do we think the ground is?
As you kind of push on the ground, there are some spots that feel very solid. If you want to move around and try to find weaker spots, I might make you make a saving throw.
Let's send Sprout forward first. Just joking.
Yeah!
Probably dismount, I suppose.
I'm not okay with
You know,
this.
Gary,
you know,
Gary, how do you feel about your ability to traverse this? You keep saying and talking a big game. How do you feel about this, Gary?
I mean, dude, if we lose a couple of people, that's just what's gonna happen on an expedition.
I'd really rather avoid that.
Some of us will make it to the other side.
I'd really, really rather avoid that.
Maybe advisable to go around.
Certainly seems more feasible. Definitely less likely to result in someone falling through the ice and dying.
Okay. You guys are going to try to move around. Give me a survival check as you try to navigate your way around and not get lost from your original path.
Is that everyone?
It can be a group survival check, or if you want, you can have one person do point, which would be, I would say this check would be survival cartography, so if you had cartography proficiency, you could probably add it.
We got +2 to survival.
-1.
Do we want, I have +2. Do we want to have the people who have the greatest survival be at the head of, I guess, the train?
We'd be the ones who are best at it, so probably.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it'd be
probably.
us two. So if we roll and we represent the rest of the group.
What's Twig's score for that?
I'm +0.
Alright.
Okay. Yeah, because you and I are +2. So why don't we lead the group
Alright.
and we'll roll for the survival
Actually,
check.
can we see the ground from where we are?
Where you are on the ice?
No, just, well, you're saying that it's sometimes a bit hard to see the ground, so can we consistently see the ground, or is it...
It's almost like looking into a crater. Like you're seeing the earth below the ground, like you're seeing through it. So if...
Right, okay. No, my idea doesn't work then. Okay. I was going to do a fun thing with Tinker Toy, but it's not going to work if we can't actually see the ground itself.
Can we see any sort of things above us, like any sort of plant life, rocks, anything that we could use to hold on to as we're navigating?
You see that there are, similar to when you saw the waterfalls before, there are archways that reach over the pond, and you don't know if it reaches to the other side or not, but they do appear to reach outwards into the fog and sort of go over the fog a bit.
So our options are to try to go around and do like a survival check to see how that goes, or can we investigate the archways? Can we get close enough to them without going into the pond area?
There are some archways that do appear to start here on the, like, outside of the ice. Some that start in the ice from what you can see. You've never been on the archways, so you could try it.
Okay, group. We got a couple options, it looks like. We can send a couple of us to try and see if it's safe to go around, or we can check out these archways or just try to fumble our way straight through. What are you thinking, crew?
Straight through seems incredibly risky, and frankly, so does the archways, so my vote is trying to figure out how to go around the edges, but with the fact we can't see the ground 100% clearly, it's also a concern.
My God, I trust you completely, Myra.
If we are going around and I go second, then I can set up minor illusions above where Myra is to help us to follow her.
Thank you.
Hey, it's your friendly neighborhood dungeon master Galdeveer here to talk to you in this little ad break. Just talking about our Discord a bit. We have a channel on there specifically for the asteroid dwellers, that second tier of the Ko-Fi. And yeah, people who are that tier, people who are higher tiers can utilize that channel. Cast members can utilize that channel. I can utilize that channel. So if you want to talk to us directly, that's a nice place to do it. Also on the Ko-Fi, you can get access to thumbnails, you can get access to character art. So if for whatever reason you want to get a download of the character art or a thumbnail or something, you can do it there if you get the Asteroid Dweller tier. Back to the show.
All right. Second, sounds like it's me and you. Let's see and try and traverse around this edge. We'll call to you guys, depending on how it goes.
Okay, so you guys said that Second and Myra are going together?
I guess?
Yes, we're gonna investigate and just kind of take a look around the edge to see if we can go around. Myra has a 16 on survival.
Okay.
Do I roll too?
So you guys could do a group thing, but then it will be an average. If you have proficiency, you can give the help action. So are you proficient in survival or cartography tools?
So I did with my proficiency in survival when I rolled.
Okay, yeah. And I'm just saying that you can get advantage from the help action from the other person if they also have proficiency.
I do not.
Okay. So I would suggest that you just have the person with the higher roll so that you aren't averaging it out to something lower.
We're at the same.
You can roll both if you want then.
So I roll, it's fine?
You can, yeah.
Well, second, it's going to depend on if we trust a 16 and we want to risk lower, or we're just going to go with the 16 and...
Well, I'm going to try it. 5. We're going with yours.
That was an advantage. You don't get to roll before you make that decision.
Well, I was planning on going with Dornish's anyway. I'm in a position, man. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here.
That's okay.
Okay, so I didn't do any advantage for help with it. So I guess because you're dealing with two of our noobers
Dornish
here, so...
rolled, and then I also rolled for... Again, I don't know what's happening.
Okay, how about this?
We're trying to establish who needs to roll, who gets advantage, and how it goes. I rolled just because you said roll survival. So, I rolled. And then second, we rolled because we weren't sure if we needed to do 2 or what. So, how do you want to handle it?
How about this? We'll go with your roll, and I'm going to ask you to re-roll, and I'm going to use your stress. I'm using your stress. You gotta re-roll that.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Okay. Are we going to average mine in seconds, or are you just asking me to re-roll and we use my roll?
Just Dornish re-roll. Yeah.
I got a 17.
It was better the second time.
Okay, you begin searching through, and one thing to keep in mind is that Astrid Citratus is an underground campaign, essentially. So you're in caverns, and it's very common to run into barriers. You guys begin searching for the edge of this pond, and you don't appear to find one. Eventually, you just run into a cavern wall, but as you're going through, you hear a clank as one of the Feyre's feet touches the ground. It doesn't sound like normal earth.
What was that?
I don't know. We should call the others.
I don't know.
Hey, everybody, get over here. There's something weird going on.
Yeah, what's happening?
Are you guys going over there?
Yeah, may as well. I've been setting up minor illusions above where they are so we can follow them, sort of
Did you go with them?
navigate by the stars. I mean, I said I was going, like, second behind them.
Oh, okay, you were going behind them. Because if you
Yeah.
didn't go with them, I would be like, how do you know where they are to set the illusion? But, okay.
I confirm he said that.
Okay, yeah, that works. Dang it, I don't get to make you guys roll to see if you get lost. You guys hear them yell out, and you see the illusion, and the voices don't seem like they're coming from where the illusion are coming from, but you know to go for that illusion. I'm gonna say, it's just gonna give you, I still want somebody to do survival, or something similar. I might allow perception in this case, but I'll give you advantage. The mist is still rolling. Sometimes it will cover the illusion, sometimes it won't. Sometimes...
I think that the only... I think that the only people left are the NPCs and Russo.
Yeah. So, Russo, do you want to have one of the NPCs try to do it? Do you want to go ahead and make a roll here for survival?
Sure, yeah, I'll try to go for it.
I really hope I don't regret leaving him back there.
You regret leaving him back there.
Lost dudes.
Well, you have advantage, so you get to roll again.
Oh, I have advantage. Sorry. I'll do again.
Momentary lost.
Oh no!
There we go.
Lost.
You and the crew begin to try to follow the illusion, but sometimes the fog is just overhead and you can't see above you. And at certain points you begin to find yourself back on the ice, and you try to stay back on that path. Keep going for a while, but then your balance seems to feel a bit weird. You realize that just a little bit going to the side starts to make you lean. And then as you're moving forward, you emerge from the fog, and you see you're on one of the archways above it.
Wait, how high up are we in the air now?
You're about 20 feet up in the air. You can keep going and get higher up.
From 20 feet up, can I see the rest of the party?
From 20 feet up, you do see the illusion, but some time has passed, and I'm gonna say, give me a perception check, and somebody is going to give you the help action to give you advantage.
9.
On a 9, all you see is the illusion in the distance.
Alright, guess I'll yell to them. Hey, I can't seem to make it to you. Myra, you hear me?
We're gonna come back to that. First, we're going to cut over to the party that just heard that weird clank. What do you do after you hear that?
One of us should have stayed back there and helped them over.
I can't believe I left my charge back there and now he is lost.
Tried to say we shouldn't split up. Well, can we figure out where they are from us and maybe try and make
second,
it clearer for them to figure out where to get to us?
I can't believe I did that. I never listen. You know what? We'll find them. Let's figure it out. But we already drug everyone over here. Well, half the party over here. Is this safe? Because right now we don't even know if we can walk on this. So we heard that weird sound.
Is it metal?
Gonna check
That's
out
what
the
I'm
ground,
wondering.
I guess.
I was hoping maybe you could tell me.
Sounded like metal.
Metal?
But we can't see it, can we?
Hang on a second.
Can we see beyond it
Hang
with this
on.
fog?
Hang on a second. Would using crystalline eye make it so that I could see what's going on?
So here's the weird thing. I'm pretty sure... Do I want to tell you what would happen? You'd have to find out. You'd have to find out what would happen.
Mean to me, making me make a decision. You know what? Sure, I'm going to use crystalline eye to gain 10 feet of true sight and advantage on intelligence checks for a minute.
The invisible surfaces, if in the fog, are now visible. That said, the fog is now visible.
Dang it. I can see less now. That didn't work.
So good news is that when you're up close to something, you will be able to analyze it.
I guess I'll hop down and take a look at the ground and try and get a closer look at what the situation is.
So you're having a little bit of trouble seeing, but there was a very interesting point has just been made. Can you guys see what's on the ground? So you look down and you see there's a very obvious cylindrical pit that seems to be made of steel on the walls and a rusty brown ladder that just goes down into the darkness. And one of the Pharaoh's feet are just on top of that pit, but is not sinking into the pit. Second, you're looking, one of the Pharaoh's feet is just on what appears to be like a manhole, but with one of those turning knobs on it that you could twist to open it up.
Looks like some sort of vault entrance. Never regretted
Second,
using
you
this more.
are absolute fire right now. How did you do that?
Well, it's mostly backfired, but Neuralon can sort of get a sense of what things truly look like. It's temporary and can only be used so often, but we can see things more clearly than most if we choose. And I am mostly surrounded by fog right now, but I can see stuff super close to my face now.
You're amazing. Hey, Russo! Russo, can you hear us?
Myra!
All right. Let's go fetch the rest of our teammates. Can we see them? Does anyone see them? I'm sorry, I'm not that tall.
I'm useless right now with regards to seeing anything more than like a foot in front of my face, so no.
If Evergrey goes tall mode, will he be able to see better?
I would say right now, with the current height of the fog, yes.
Right. Let's go. Towering tree. Evergrey grows to a large size, and his head peaks above the fog.
You can see up on one of the archways, which does have a waterfall beneath it, going downwards onto the frozen lake below, is the rest of the crew. You actually see that, most of the crew are up on top of the archway, but one of them has walked around and is now upside down on the underside of the archway, on one of the Feyre, and is just staring into the water.
It's
Evergrey.
upside down on one of the archways.
Yep. They're just standing
Okay.
upside down, like if gravity was reversed.
How far
Well,
away are they?
They are on one of the arches. I'm going to wave, I guess? And just sort of yell?
Yeah, Russo, you can hear them.
All right. Kind of want to test this physics out while I'm here. Can I toss a rock? Like if I roll a rock, does it roll around underneath?
You take a rock and you roll it across the ground, and it rolls around, and you never hear it fall.
Oh, well, that's pretty cool. Hey gang, we should probably meet up with the others though. I see Evergrey's head's popping up over there. Hey Evergrey.
Around you,
Hello.
you see Gary, Elenir, and Lastatum. You don't see Calvin.
Oh boy.
And
Oh, that's not
you
good.
see that Lastatum, you only see the branches coming off of their head from around the edge of the walkway. They appear to be standing under it right now.
Is he Calvin or Cadvin? Is that what his name was?
No, Lastatum is down there on the other underside.
No, you said there's someone missing.
Yeah, Calvin is missing. Calvin was
This is Calvin.
the sort of sickly-looking Cetrazen who was kind of lanky and had a big hiking bag on his back.
Could have sworn you said Cadvin every time you said it last week.
You said Cadvin. I have a CAD.
Wait, yeah, it was Cadvin, not Calvin. That's my mistake. It
I
was
was
Cadvin.
really confused. Because I made sure to write everyone's name down.
I wrote his name down, and it's written down as Calvin.
If I move further away, do I see Cadvin?
No.
Hey Evergrey, you see Cadvin?
Let's go perception, I guess. See if I can find him.
Yeah, go ahead and give me that check.
No, that's a 3.
Oh no.
My God, are we sure that this roll bar is like actually fair?
I'm just hogging
Keeps
all the
happening
rolls.
to us.
I don't know what you mean. It's not fair. We've only got 8 out of our 10 rolls have been below 10.
And they're all mine.
I'm
the
sorry.
only
Yes,
good
only
ones
the
were the
only
ones where
2
you had
rolls over 10
disadvantage.
have been Dornishes.
Some of these rolls have been DC 5.
Yeah. Oh my god. This is going great.
This isn't even level 1 at this point. It's just...
We're just really unlucky.
Someone needs to reboot this roll bot.
I will first. Oh wait, you already have a stress, don't you? Yeah, you can't. I would let you pass the roll, but you already have a stress.
Wait, doesn't he have
I'm going to
inspiration?
use my inspiration, yeah.
Okay.
Can I use it retroactively, actually?
Inspiration's just a reroll.
Oh, okay. 13.
You look out and you see in the distance a bit of the fog is parting, like almost like it's being collected a little bit into an app, like it's being sucked in somewhere. And you see standing in the center is Cadvin, who has set up some sort of device to get rid of the fog just in a small radius, and is just out on the center of the frozen lake. And as you're looking out too, there's another spot in the distance where the fog separates. And you stare at it for a moment, and it reminds you, it's like you can see into the ice. And frozen beneath it, just for a moment, it seems like you see something that looks very similar to the seed of the Archiver's tree.
Is that also what last autumn's looking at?
You're really far away from last autumn. I'm gonna say, what was your roll? You would have had to get above a
was a
15 to also
13.
get that information.
Okay, fair enough.
Russo, from your vantage point, can you see that space in the lake where the fog has parted?
I'm afraid to do any strenuous activity. Anytime I do something, it doesn't work out well. But I'll take a peek. Can I see it?
Yeah, looking down, since you look down at the same time the fog is parting, you can see that frozen beneath the ice, maybe another 70 feet out, it's very hard to make out. Maybe only 50 feet out is what looks vaguely like a wicker heart. And there appears to be something jutting out of its chest that is grayed.
Hey, Evergrey, can you make anything that like glows bright? Maybe we can shoot it over there so we don't lose it when, we're making our way through the fog.
I can set up a larger than normal minor illusion, I guess. Actually,
We need some fire breath.
Far enough away.
how far away is it? Sorry, did you say?
From you right now, I'd say it's probably
Yes.
90 feet.
Does anyone have a bow and arrow that is with us? Or something that they can throw 90 feet?
I have darts.
I have javelins.
Javelins might work. Let me just check the throw range on a javelin.
Yeah, I have a hand axe. I don't know how helpful that is.
Javelins can be thrown up to 120 feet, although it's inaccurate. That is good enough for now. I'm going to use Tinker Tool on one of those javelins to make it glow 5 feet of bright light and 5 feet of dim light.
Okay.
Now I only have 5 of those.
Who's gonna throw it?
Here you go. I can't see.
I mean, I can see. It probably doesn't need to be especially accurate, does it? I mean, I'll have -1 disadvantage to throw a javelin.
The better your roll, the less feet away it'll be from where you're aiming. So
just confirming too, I'm still in the fog, right? I can't see.
I mean, if you want to climb up on top of Evergrey.
And more stupid question is, how do I know how well I can throw?
So it's basically an attack roll with a weapon. So for a javelin, it would be strength based.
So my strength is a 15.
So you will have +4 to throw a javelin then.
Is that +4?
So if I climb up on
She'll have proficiency.
Evergrey, then I could throw the javelin with my +4.
Well,
Disadvantage because you'll be throwing at long range.
right, yeah.
So is that what we want to try?
Go for it. All you lose is a javelin if you miss.
I have more of those.
Second, can I see that javelin?
I think he has it.
Oh,
They
okay.
have it. Whatever.
All right, I guess I'm climbing a tree
I
today.
handed it out. The javelin is no longer my problem.
Dang it, it's a 7.
Okay, 7's not terrible. I'm gonna say the javelin lands within 30 feet of the location. You can try again, but you'll have one less javelin.
I'd probably be willing to part with a second one, because I'd presumably be able to pick these up and I just have glowing javelins at some point.
Okay, give me one more shot. I think I can get closer. 16.
That's better.
Okay, you throw it and it lands directly where it needs to be. Bullseye.
Yes!
Back up on the archway. You see Elenir goes, So, are we going to do something? Can't just be up here forever. Maybe should we head down to them? Or do we keep going across the archway?
We're just waiting for a good point of reference. We're gonna meet up over at those glowing javelins, it looks like.
Okay, that seems fine. I don't really have a way to jump down. Don't really have a spell for that.
Ah. You said we're 20 feet up?
I'm not wild about landing 20 feet on ice. Like, we might survive it, but, you know, the ice might crack, so...
I see.
But if you think it's a good
I
idea...
didn't realize there was a path to the ground.
Oh, yeah, there is, but, like, you know, we could probably... I don't know where that goes. It's a bit more into the mist. We could try it.
Okay, sorry, can you describe what our options are here on this?
Yeah, so imagine just one long archway of stone that is going up into the air starting at one point and ending at a different point. So eventually that archway is going to start heading down into the mist, and when it finally reaches the ground, you won't be entirely certain where you are relative to what you saw above.
How about we call Evergrey over here and have him climb down him like a ladder?
So Myra climbs down Evergrey also after the bullseye, just for clarification.
Okay.
It's a deep jungle gym.
My towering tree won't last all the way over there, I don't think. Actually, it will, assuming we move full speed, but we probably want to be moving slowly. If we're going on ice.
Has it been a minute? Can I see now?
Well,
Yeah, you can.
well, in that case,
you can see.
if by the time
Yay.
you make it over to us, you've shrunk, then we can tie a rope around here and just try to launch ourselves down.
I'm wondering if I use a second towering tree just to help them down. I only have 2 a day. But it might be worth it.
But we could try the rope strategy first.
Yeah, we'll solve this when we get to the javelins. I'm also going to set up a minor illusion directly above this metal plate, just so we can get back to it.
If you go out of range of that, does it disappear?
I don't think so, but I'm gonna check. Actually, it only lasts for a minute. So probably would be gone by the time we want to go back.
Could stab a torch in the ground there or something?
Yeah, we could just put another glowing Tinker Toy down here.
Then I'll only have 3. I'm not likely to use more than 3 is fine. I'll live.
I mean,
it
it doesn't have to be a lance. It doesn't have to be a javelin or whatever. It could be literally anything. It could be a rock. So just put a glowing rock on the ground.
Okay, you guys leave a glowing rock on the ground and begin heading over to where you think the start of the archway is. So somebody give me a survival check, or I might allow a different skill if you want to argue it.
Guess I'll do that. 20. Not nat.
Okay, you are able to find your way with ease. Having done your true sight earlier, you've gotten a better sense of your environment. You got to see it from the perspective you're seeing it from now. You got to see it from a normal perspective. It doesn't feel as mystical anymore. It's like you've seen every edge of it. You understand it. Now let's get to work. Begin heading over to the archway, and you guys find the start of it and can begin heading up if you would like to. But as you're walking through, from the side, in the mist, you just hear, "What do you want?" You don't hear anything else.
Who are you? Who are you?
There's no response.
Okay, so you also heard that, and I'm not starting to imagine things. Cool.
Mira's gonna glance in her pack and make sure that she still has an item in there.
Yeah, it's there.
I guess we keep going on to find the rest of the party.
Yep.
It doesn't seem like whoever that was interested in talking any more than that.
Russo, you absolute candle! Can you hear me yet?
Is that an insult?
You guys find the start of the bridge and begin heading up it. And you meet up with the rest of the crew.
Hello.
Hey, I think separating ourselves is not such a good idea. How about we tie ropes around each other and or hold on and make our way through these to those glowing things over there.
How much rope do we have between us? I'm not actually sure.
We probably all have 50 feet of rope.
Alright. There's 9 of us. And 8 of us on our own mounts.
Hey, where's the other guy?
He's over there, the fiddling with the fog.
What's all that gray? What's he doing?
The fog is covered up at the spot where you saw Gray, and you no longer see Calvin either. Cadvin.
Whatever his name is.
Can't believe my manager's in the D&D game. Sorry.
All right, come on, Russo. Let's get off this thing. How are we gonna do this? Are we just going back down the way we came? Are we trying to climb down? What's the plan here?
Well, it seems like you got up here, no problems. Let's go back down there and make our way over to those glowing javelins you threw. Nice throw, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys doing that? Like,
So
what are you doing?
Our whole party goes down?
Like, we're
How
walking
are you
back the
going
way we
down?
came?
Are you just walking down the other end of the archway? Are you doing the plan of dropping down?
Sounds like we were gonna walk back the way we came.
Walk back the way you came.
Yeah, they came up an archway.
Came up the archway, go
we
back
meet
down
up.
the archway, go across
Go back
the
down.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys come back the way you came, and you know, back where you started. Last Totem didn't follow you. Back down.
Oh no.
Last autumn, that rope didn't work for you?
These?
Actually, I'll say let's rewind a little bit. When you tried to walk over, did somebody try to walk over and tie a rope to him?
We handed the length of rope to everybody, I suppose, and they are
Yeah.
tying it onto themselves.
And you guys are all tied together in one long chain? Are you spiderwebbing it? Like, I want to know the configuration here.
I'm imagining
Well, just-
a long chain.
So,
Just
like,
because of the geometry of the space we were in.
Yeah.
so is it like...
I'm imagining like when you see the preschoolers holding on to the rope all together.
I was about to
Exactly.
say that.
That's exactly it.
I remember doing that.
If they're gonna get
I
lost,
don't,
we're gonna
because
treat
we
them
didn't
like
do that.
children.
If you tried to walk to the underside of the archway, as you walked up, you would see Last Totem is just staring into the water, and Sprout actually has run up to one of you guys that are trying to walk down.
Yeah,
They just start pointing at Last Totem, kind of concerned looking.
That's
What's
not great.
what's going on?
Is everything all right?
I don't... No.
There's a pain coming, like, to say the opposite of yeah looks so painful coming from them. It looks like it hurts.
Oh.
Hey, Evergrey, you think you can, like, talk to this other
Seen anything
tree,
like this?
tree to tree?
I can try. I am not especially good at talking to people,
Fair enough.
but it seems the best option. Last autumn. What do you see?
As you walk up, I'm going to need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
12.
Is that enough? 12 is pretty high. You walk up. You look past the floating river and the chaos of reflections that are in there. It's too much to look at, and you look further down into the waterfall. And you see your own reflection. Except there's something different about it. Please describe a different moment from your life, past or future.
I see a group of people at a party. It is celebrating the religious event, whatever this world's version of a christening is.
So it would likely be, if it was a christening, it would likely be in the Satraxian chapel.
I see myself in the Satraxian chapel, recording a christening. People are happy. Some are crying. Some look bored. And I understand. I have a look of knowing on my face.
see myself. And I have rot. Sprout is not near me. I am broken into pieces. And there is a wicker heart studying me, wondering what my name was. I do not like this. I do not wish to become the one that is remembered.
Give me, as you share this experience, give me, I'm gonna say, an investigation check.
Sure. 21.
What do you say to shake Last Totem out of this daze?
Last autumn. What you see, it is not real. It has not happened. It is not going to happen. It is not happening. What you see is just an illusion. It is just something that you want or something that you fear. Come back up to the top.
The roots in his feet didn't notice before, or dug into the ground, and they release.
You're right. We have work to do. Everything ends, and so does this vision.
And he rejoins the crew.
Glad to see that's worked out. Be careful looking at the waterfalls, I guess.
I do not want to touch on my trauma.
Okay, you guys head back down. I believe you're heading back over to the manhole.
We were going to go to the glowy javelins.
Right, okay.
Weren't we?
You guys head down the bridge and into the mist, and so you're gonna step out onto the ice?
Yes?
Okay. Are you
Slowly.
riding your Feyre? Or are you walking next to your Feyre? Are you leaving them behind? What's happening?
Since we're going so directly on the ice, it's potentially risky to bring them, but I also don't want to lose them at some point.
Yeah.
We have rope. Is there anywhere we can tie them to? Can we tie them to the end of the pillar that we just came down? Or the forgot the word, the archway. Can we tie them to the end of the archway?
Those are like a full 10-foot diameter. Like, that takes a...
We've got like 50 foot of rope each. Just saying.
There's also a lot of us tied around each other. Is there a tree nearby?
Yeah, there are some trees. There are the nice white-barked trees with the cyan and yellow stained glass leaves.
Alright. So, I say we tie them to the trees and maybe leave another glowing relic thingy to figure out.
I can only have 3 of them.
Alright. Fair enough.
So we've got 2 on javelins and 1 over at the manhole.
Okay.
So if you wanted me to leave another one, then I would have to lose one of your javelins.
Yeah.
Well, we do have the javelin that's 30 feet away and then the one that's in the center.
Well, if we can't figure out where mine is, then I can't get it back.
Solid point.
We're coming up on time here. Do we want to wrap it up here?
Yeah, then we could think a little more about like where we want to proceed from here.
Yeah.
And that's the end for this episode of Asteroid Citratus Journey to Elaxia. See you next time.